Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone listening to this from YouTube and also the ones that are present here on Zoom. I am happy to be here today to talk about strengthening the unspoken relationship between parents and teachers. I will be sharing my slides. One moment, please. Okay, we're almost there. Yes. So today we'll be talking about strengthening the unspoken relationship between parents and teachers. Wow. So whenever I want to talk about topics relating to teachers, first of all, I ask myself, do teachers really know who they are? You know, and do they understand that parents are actually customers? You know. Anyway, that's by the way. I'll still come to that. There's something that I remembered when I was putting all this together. Okay. So I was in a relationship, and during the let's talk about this relationship period, it's kind of discussion. The man told me that, the man along the line, the man told me that teaching is the easiest job ever on earth. Wow. That was when I knew that that this relationship was not going anywhere. Yeah, so I started doing what would be best for me. Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to let teachers know that don't allow anyone, to put you down. Because I hear teachers say the society don't respect us, teachers are not valid, the way they should be valid and all that. First, you have to place that value on you, okay? When this man said what he said during our discussion, I knew that he doesn't understand what teaching is about. And that means he doesn't understand me. He doesn't understand what I do. It's going to be a big problem. Okay. And, with time, as we were in that relationship, I kept seeing things, that will actually mean that, oh, this guy doesn't really value what I do. Okay. So why will I be with someone that doesn't value what I do? Why would you put down my own career? No. I value my career. I respect teachers because I know what they do. Think about it, teachers, my dear teachers. Okay? Think about it. Do you know what it means? I'm also speaking to every other one, every person listening to me here. Do you know what it means becoming part of your customer's family in guiding, in protecting, in nurturing, in training, in grooming their treasures? Their treasures, which is what? Their children. For me, is a big deal. For me, is a heavy task. Yes, and which needs the teachers to be meticulous because any mistake made will be an expensive one. All right, that's by the way. Because we also have, many people who appreciate teachers. And that leads me to the next slide. So this happened last year. I put up something on my status, okay? I don't know if you can see this, but I guess I'll describe the status. So this picture, the white stuff you're seeing there, that picture was on my status last year, sometime last year, okay? It's a teacher, that was, okay, the children were passing. So these children, they have something like plants on their head, so as they were passing one after the other, the teacher was watering the plant on their head. You understand? So I put it up on my status last year, sometime last year. And I said, what I have done for 15 years, yet it seems like yesterday. Well, This year and beyond, I'm gonna even do better. So I did this and I slept off, only for me to wake up. A parent sent me a message, and that's what is there. I have this on my Facebook. I sent it to my Facebook account. So, Facebook page. So the parent said, the day she was talking to me, she said, the day you are ready to found a school, tell me. Oh, she said, tell me, oh, and I will be sure to invest, to partner with you. I love people who know what they want in life and pursue it with all their passion. You can see I woke up and I was like, wow. I said, I said, I woke up to this. Good morning, ma. Only these words are priceless for me. Yeah, it was a priceless one. Yeah, I was so happy. So what do you think is happening? Why did this woman, take out time to type this? And she just didn't type this. Something made her to do this because of the trust she has in me, because of the good job I've done. No, not good job, because of the excellent job I've done. I taught her child, and the child was in year 3, okay, and met me in year 5, yes, in the same school before he left. Yes, I taught the child. So I did an excellent job for her to tell me that she will want to invest, in whatever it is whenever I'm ready to start a school. What kind of appreciation? Which other appreciation are we looking for? My own is that to all the teachers listening, whatever you are doing, people are watching. They know. So whatever you are doing, do it what? Well. This takes me to my next slide. You can see what I have there. Smart. So I can remember when I first saw this smart, I never knew what it meant. It meant, okay. I was a student, I was still a student, yes. So I was doing my what's it called again? Internship, yes. I was doing my internship in Nigerian breweries. So in one of the offices, I saw this on the table and I just took it. I just liked it, the way they did it. I just liked it. And I was trying to, interpret what it meant, to read it like it was like I met it on a table. I guess they finished a meeting there and I was to, you know, um go around to get one or two things and I saw it. I was like, oh, I like this. And I asked one of the staff, can I have this? And I was like, yeah, you can. So apparently it's like it was a training and they distributed it or something. So I took it, not knowing, where it's gonna lead me because I was still a student in school. I was in my 3rd year or something, okay? Yes, as a biochemist student, yes. So by then I didn't even know I was gonna go into, teaching. Of course, right now I'm a licensed teacher. All right, so why did I bring up this smart here? Along the line as a teacher, I met this smart again in one of my trainings, and it's now made a lot of sense. Okay, and I told myself, okay, I'll see how I can always, apply this in my classroom. Now I have the Ella story. Ella's story is about a child. She's a girl, her name is Emanuela. Okay. So Emanuela came into my classroom, or rather my class, yes. You know how during the term, in the middle of the term, a child joins the class, okay? And you have to try to see how you're gonna help this child to, carry her along and all that, okay? So by the time I interviewed the child, gave her a test, gave her by the time I interviewed the child, gave her my own tests and all that, okay? She she was smart enough, she was intelligent, she showed everything that okay, this particular child is not going to give me any headache, okay? And that was a very good one for me. All right. Now, um, along the line, I gave my reports that this child is good to go. Okay, sorry about the incoming call. I gave the I gave the report that this child is good to go. Okay, so what happened? I I was happy. Yes, every teacher will be because your job, is not going to be a difficult one. So I was actually happy. All right. Along the line, the day Ella was to resume, Ella Emanuela came with the dad. Okay. So the day Emanuela was supposed to resume, that was the next day. Emanuela that I interviewed was now a different Emanuela. Emanuela that I interviewed was a different Emanuela. Okay. Now, you will ask, what do you mean by, Emanuela being a different Emanuela? Emanuela that I interviewed was very, very outspoken, okay, very enthusiastic, okay. And only for her to resume on the next day, Emanuela was too cold. In fact, at the time she was lost. So I was like, I was teaching and this girl is lost. Where is this coming from? Like, this is not the Emanuela I met the previous day. Okay. So what did I do? I didn't know what to do. Then, of course, her name is Emanuela. I don't know, quickly something came up to my head. I think that was the period this You Are My Umbrella, Ella, that song, was raining. So immediately I just started, I came to her to, that kind of tickle smile. And I was like, You are my umbrella, Ella. And guess what? The whole class started singing, You are my umbrella, Ella. Yes, and something actually happened. So Emanuela, started smiling, and all of a sudden we now saw the Emanuela jumping up to that. You are my umbrella. Oh my goodness, I can remember this so well. It's been a while. Yeah, it was years back. Okay, so I was so happy that we were able to bring her back to the classroom. I don't know where she wandered off with her mind. So we now had a good section, and everything went well. But I gave Emanuela, of course, we always give homework, okay, to make sure that there's continuity. So Ella went home. When Ella went home, of course, everybody went home. The next day, Ella came back and the homework was not done. I was unhappy. I tried to understand what happened, Ella. What happened? This and that. Ella was still moody, And I was like, Ella, explain. Tell me, what is it? Why couldn't you do your homework? Well, I asked certain questions, that we always ask children and all that. And he was like, I'm so sorry, Miss K. That's what they normally call me. Or rather, that was what they used to call me then. Imagine Miss K. During our old time, you dare not call your teacher K or whatever. So Ella now told me that she's very sorry. She apologized that she couldn't do her homework. I now advised her not to do that next time. Try and find out time to, do your homework. She agreed. The next day again, there was homework and Ella didn't do her homework. But guess what this girl did? When she came in, she was now like, Miss K, I'm your Ella, I'm your umbrella, Ella. I was like, where is this girl taking me to now? So she now said, Miss K, please forgive me. I didn't do my homework, but I promise you, I'm not going for break. I'm going to do my homework here beside you. Okay, please. I couldn't do it. I actually wanted to do it, but I don't know what happened and I slept off. I couldn't do it. I said, okay. So during the break time, actually, she sat beside me. You know how children, you can bring your text as in towards my own, and then she now started to do her homework. I allowed such. But then I made sure she was already half done, and I asked her, okay, now you can just go play, okay? You finish up, promise me you are finishing up the other ones next day. She said, yes, Miss K, and jumped up and, went out to play with the rest of the class members. Now, I was still, like, what is wrong? Where is this coming from? Okay. So I found out that, okay, I, I have been bombarding this girl because I felt like, she's smart, she can meet up, blah, blah, blah. But then at a time, I told myself, no, I need to help this child. So I applied the SMART technique. And trust me, it helped Ella. Yes, because Ella, became, active, and I tried one thing about me too, I try to carry my children along, in certain techniques I feel that, or rather certain teaching methods I feel they can understand because I teach grade 4, grade 5, I make it like a child, whatever for them, so they understand how we are doing this together. In fact, sometimes when you group them, they will tell you, let's use Miss K's SMART technique. That kind of a thing. When you group them for a task or something like that, they want to say, okay, depending, of course, the task, they want to take one technique Miss Vivian is using or one teaching style and all that. Miss K, some call me Miss K, some call me Miss Vivian. So you see, children are like that. However, along the line again, you know, the wandering off of Ella during classes, was always, somehow frequently still there. So I had to understand, I had to call Ella to ask her, why do you always, do this? Why are you so lost sometimes? Ella told me that she was thinking about her mom. You can imagine. That was when I found out that Ella is from a broken home. So mom left them and dad is only with them. So I had to speak to Ella, try to explain to her that mommy still loves you. However, I'll be a friend, anything you want and all that, blah, blah, blah. And Ella, if you see Ella was so happy. Of course, Ella later left our class, but Ella by now, I wonder how old she will be. But Ella became she became that child, that active child I met when the father brought her for interview. And yes, Ella was, a brilliant and promising child. Yes. So I'm just trying to say that the work of a teacher, goes goes beyond just ordinary teaching a subject. And we all teachers should know this. Okay. And the work of a parent too is not just and should not just be, the parenting thing that just trying to do it on your own without relating with the teacher because it is a continuous circle. It starts from, yes, the child has been handed over to you from God, okay? And when you were ready to say, yes, I need a helper, yes, permit me to use that word because teachers are also helpers. I need, a teacher. I need a school. Of course, that's where you find teachers who can help me in grooming this child, in grooming the child, in training the child, in nurturing the child. When you say this, you will move out, right, to find a school where this particular kind of teachers that you feel that are okay for your kind of children, for the kind of quality and whatever it is you want your child to, grow in, you will move out to go and find such, right? Yes. So parents too should understand that grooming a child, nurturing a child does not just only stop in the parenting at home, okay? In that four walls of a house, of a home. No, because your child from you is learning, also learning from school, even the church, okay? Now, the teaching that happens in the school shouldn't just stop in the school. Yes, the teacher takes care of the teaching and in this house, I take care of the parenting. No, you see? So parents and teachers must be together. They must work hand in hand in order to grow a child. We will still talk about this, in a detailed manner. Now, I try to explain to us that the relationship that a teacher and a parent should be having should be symbiotic and not parasitic. Parasitic in the sense that some parents, they abuse teachers. Yes, but then somehow it's the teacher that actually allow it. Yes, because what they normally say, the saying that goes that the way you dress is how you will be addressed. Yes, it's true. And trust me, the way you dress does not just only mean the clothes you put on. No, the way you dress has a lot to do with, yes, your appearance, your physical appearance, your confidence, your courage, you know? Yes. It's not just only your attire. No. So this symbiotic relationship that is needed between a parent and a teacher, okay, it comes across when we are talking about communication, empathy, trust, building the trust, time management, consistency, commitment, being open-minded, flexibility. Of course, the values. Some families don't have any values. Even some schools of nowadays, you begin to wonder, what kind of value is my child getting from this school? I advise every parent, yes, from my years of experience, when you are looking out for schools, don't just concentrate on how beautiful and attractive the environment is. Try to know the teachers. If possible, if possible, of course, it's always possible. It's always possible. Ask the management that you would want to speak to one of the teachers. Yes, it's for the good of your child. I don't think any school has the right to say no to such. It's your right. Okay? And you have the right to know the teaching style a teacher is using in her classroom for your child. Likewise, the teacher trying to understand how is this child being, how are you parenting this particular child? Because it will also go a long way for the teacher to know, how to do this, where to start, and how to carry this child along, and how to fix certain things, and how the cycle will continue smoothly. The cycle of training a child, So the next slide. We really have to stop the blaming, the judging. Okay?
Mr. Timothy, you should come.
Hello, did I hear someone? Does someone want to speak? Hello? Someone in the Zoom center, do you want to make a contribution? Would you like to make a contribution? Okay, let's continue. So I'm trying to say that both the teachers and the parents should stop the blame game. It doesn't do anybody any good. Yes. Some teachers, you hear some teachers saying, this child is from a broken home. So what do they want me to do now? It's not my fault. Why some parents are like, this teacher is this, she doesn't do this, she does not understand, she does not help my child cannot go get good grades. In fact, I want to change my child from her class. In fact, I don't like her. For no specific good reason. Stop the blame game. If you keep changing your child from one class to another, how will the child really settle? And this slide is saying, judging a teacher on their students' text scores makes as much sense as judging a farmer on his crop without accounting for drought, freezes, or diseases. Yes. So if you are judging a teacher that your child's score is not excellent, okay, is not 100% as all parents want, as many parents want. Why, as in, Have you ever asked yourself, okay, did I account for the kind of food I give my child, the environment my child is growing in? Does my child even have studying time at home, or the study just ends in school? The values. What are your values? Some parents don't have any value. The child just do anything the child does is good. Yes. And then they don't even care the friends the child is keeping. Or in fact, once the child keeps friends from a wealthy background, yes, it's acceptable, you know. Of course, why would they care when you don't have a value, when you don't have family values? Yet, teachers are being blamed. We need to stop the blaming game. We need to stop judging one another. Rather, we need to understand that both of us are in this business together. Yes. And parents have to still understand, like I said before, that teaching is like making that stranger, making that stranger to be part of your family, in guiding, in training, in teaching, in protecting, in grooming, in nurturing your child. Yes. It's a tough business. And that's why someone telling me that what I do as a teacher is the easiest, not even one of, he said is the easiest job anyone can find, anyone can do. No, completely wrong. That means the person does not understand what teaching is all about. The next slide. Yes, summer is almost over, okay? However, there's this clarification that was given that teachers are off for the summer. But however, the truth is that they are not off for summer to relax as, most people will. They are off for summer to go and recover, from the task they have engaged themselves in. In fact, some does not even go into recovery. Some still continue to make sure that they prepare for the next section. And you are telling me that it's the easiest job on earth. No. Because failing to plan is planning to fail. So as a teacher, when we fail to plan, it means that even the next time we are confused. If we fail to source for resources, if we fail to think of all the children in the classroom, think of all of them. Think of Ada, think of John, think of Emeka, think of Peter, think of Mary, think of how we are going to source for these children because of individualized learning. Then we are preparing to fail. And someone is saying that teaching is the easiest job on earth. Well, dear parents, always remember that wherever you stop is where the teachers begin. Okay? Yes, because these children are gifts from God handed to you. Okay? And then you start seeing them grow. You start seeing them crawl. Okay? So you find out that these children, okay, are with you first. Okay? So by the time you are ready to, or rather they have grown, enough to be sent to a school, is that package you have done? Is that activity you have done? Is that intentional grooming, intentional nurturing you have done, that you are bringing in to say, help me continue. Help me, let's continue together. That's what you're doing. Yes. Wherever you start, whenever you are ready to bring them, to an institution, to a place called school, you are saying, I am ready. Come and help me. Come, let's go into this relationship. Come, let's be in this relationship, business of teacher and parent in order to, grow in order to guide a child to the right path as we have set the goals for this child to go. Okay? Yes. And I keep saying, we sometimes, when we are talking with our friends, we just say things, it's just that some speak and some are just like maybe you take it for as fun, but it means a lot. I can remember when I was in my circle, we were having this discussion, and I said, if a parent, no, not a parent. Now, if two people, a husband and a wife, if you're a man and a woman, if you're not ready, to go into marriage, okay, if you are not ready to be called daddy, mommy, if you are not ready for that, to have a being, a creature calling you mommy and daddy, if you are not ready, don't venture into marriage. If you are not ready, don't venture into partnership to have a creature, a little creature that will be calling you mommy and daddy. If you are not ready for what it entails. Because practically, I want to tell us today that a parent is also a teacher.
Yes.
I want to tell us that a teacher is actually also a parent. Now you will ask me why. A parent is a teacher, but not a professional or licensed teacher. Yes, but not necessarily a professional or licensed teacher. Yes. Because we actually have licensed teachers, professional teachers. If you as a teacher is not yet a licensed professional teacher, you are just an ordinary parent, a guardian. We have some forms that we fill and they are what is written there, guardian. You will not see parents, just guardian, the child's guardian. So we should understand this. So imagine the kind of tasks teachers, professional licensed teachers do. They are doing the work of a teacher and they're also helping to parent. What is parenting? That's another thing we'll ask ourselves. That I'm parenting a child does not necessarily mean that I have this child is my biological child, because we have people that adopt children. Yes. So come to think about it. It means that a licensed professional teacher who, of course, has taken this as a career is doing this job of teaching and also actually parenting a child. There are two ways. Yes, a parent is doing the work of a parent and also teaching a child, but then not a licensed professional teacher. That's why we actually step out as parents to say, I need help in grooming this child socially, emotionally, and academically and otherwise, for us to have a total whole child. We need to understand this. Moving to the next slide. All of us understood, many of us who understand 2020. In fact, during that year, on social media, whenever I go, I see a lot of adverts and all that. I'm like, wow, the world is seeing it. 2020, trust me, 2020 was about doctors, teachers. For me, that's what I got from there. Because parents, we are just like, oh, this teacher, I can't believe it. So this is what teachers have been going through. And some of them who are sincere confessed online. I have some on my Facebook. They confess that are these, not because it's not just single, are these what teachers, go through? I have this picture that says that the parent is screaming, summer period, summer break, because the children are going to be with you. So you have to do the whole training by yourself. Okay. Even during the summer, parents still contact teachers to be coming for home tutoring to help. It's a big, it's a heavy task. So saga, the COVID saga is something, you know, is a period that actually, yes, in as much as we just don't want to experience such anymore on this planet Earth, but it actually came with its own lesson. And that made me to truly understand that no matter how bad something is, there is a lesson to learn from it. It taught us a lesson. It made the society to understand that teachers are doing a great job. And then I had to say, I've already explained this when I said there is a thin line between a parent and a teacher. And there is a thin line between a parent and a professional licensed teacher. So, my dear teachers, when someone tries to pull you down, don't even, when we are even talking about, yes, the society don't value us, blah, blah, blah. I think, we should, step back from there and keep doing what we are doing, because there's a way the universe, brings up something for us, something that somehow we've been trying to fight about it and it's not coming up. You just keep doing that, which you do. One, the opportunity will come out and the truth will be seen. And this, I'm saying this because of my own country, my own nation, my own Nigeria, where I believe that the educational system, that the teachers, deserve more. And so many people saying teachers are boring, teachers are this. No. A teacher has a lot of tasks on his or her desk. And somehow I'm like, during the COVID, wow, there is actually something to learn from the COVID saga. And I believe it's not just only in the educational sector. Yet, we don't want to experience such year anymore. I talked about the trust, the collaboration, the open-mindedness, which is very important. This business of relationship between a teacher and the parents, it's just like saying, how we normally talk about my siblings, are given to me by God, but my friends, I choose them. Your teachers, you now have the right to choose your teachers. And also they are also given to you by God. So God has given you different teachers because we have different schools. When parents say, I'm scouting for a school for my child, I have to do, I want this, you know what you already want. So God has given you these teachers. So you are the one that is now going, okay, is this what I want? Is this what? That's why I said, stop looking at only the beautiful and attractive environment. Tell the management you want to speak to a particular teacher. Please, can I speak to year 2 teacher? Any year 2 teacher available. It will help you to understand. In fact, after saying year 2 teacher, go also to the higher one and say, can I also have to speak to a year 4 teacher? I tell you that any school will grant you such. If they don't grant you such, then the school is hiding something wrong. In fact, flee from such schools. It is your right as a parent. We're in the business of understanding that this partnership, this relationship is a big deal, because both of us are meant to work together in order to help a creature. And we are not supposed to fail them. So here, the teachers are actually saying, dear parents, if you promise me not to believe everything your child says happens at home, I promise you not to believe everything he says happens at home. Very important. And this also has to do with what we talked about, blame game. We need to understand this. Yes, some managements, they in a school, some managements, they want to like cover some things. Yes, the parents said you did this, and then you have to understand, you have to apologize, you have to. No, it's actually wrong. You have to investigate in everything that is being said. There was once a case, a child went and changed the score. And the teacher had to make a call to understand, to let these people, the parent, know that, look at your child changed this score. And also told the school. The school, of course, said, okay, make a call. And they were talking to the parent. The parent said, my child will never do such a thing. Why are you doing? In fact, I'm coming to that school. Today, you will stop being a teacher. And blah, 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 blah. But the truth was that the child actually changed his score. So you've not even come to even ask your teacher, please look at what I saw. What do you think? Look at what you're saying. Please, can you explain? Please, let's put head together and understand what happened here. Immediately you are defending the child. My child will never do such a thing. What are you talking about? No. In fact, I will take permission from my workplace. I'm coming to that school. Coming to do what? To cut off the teacher's head. The truth is so bitter. Well, like I said, this business, only one person cannot completely achieve it. The parents cannot just completely achieve it on their own without interacting with the teachers, and the teachers cannot effectively, what's it called, help this child, to harness the whole potential he or she has without interacting with the parent. Because there are things I see as a teacher, the parent will not see. There are things the parent sees as a parent, the teachers will not see. And some children at home, they are different. They show you different personality. In the classroom, they bring out another one, probably because they have their friends in the classroom. And maybe probably because they even feel relaxed and more comfortable with the teacher. A parent once told me that they could not believe it, that their child is so confident, that at home she's so timid, but seeing her perform what she did in one occasion like that, parents came in for, I can't remember, I think it's Mother's Day or whatever, and I pushed this girl to do that, and they were like, wow, yes, I groomed her, I trained her for it. And they could not believe their child could do such. There are some parents like that. And apparently, in fact, the parents hardly come for PTA meetings. They hardly come. Even the communication book comes back without, what's it called, response, or even signing and all that. The child said before the parents are home, she has already slept off. You see? Before becoming a parent, plan. How are we gonna do this? And that's why somehow all these developed countries, they are getting all these things right. Of course, they're not 100%, because in my dear country, imagine a parent will leave a child of 7 years old with a child of 4 years and a child of 2 years. That's the height of irresponsibility. And they will leave them for hours. It can't happen here. Abroad, it can't happen. In developed countries, I mean to say. You do it the first time, do it the second time, even your neighbor will report you. This is to say that in a child's life, an adult is needed. In a child's life, training a child is not a small business. It's a big task. It's a big deal. And we have to take it seriously. And when we talk about this relationship between a parent and a teacher, even the management sometimes should keep quiet and see what is happening, because sometimes they are even the ones that destroy such what's it called, relationship, or rather put an obstacle to such relationship, because they feel that the teacher will be gaining her own personal or his own personal thing from the parent. Yes, that's the unspoken relationship, aspect of relationship I'm also trying to talk about. Such management, such proprietors and proprietresses, they should be so ashamed of themselves because you employed someone and you are not trusting the person. You put obstacles. A teacher cannot contact, cannot relate to the parents.
So a
They
parent,
must pass through you. Then go into the classroom and work.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, I understand that you are trying to make sure that the teachers, don't go informal with the
Yes,
parents. Then
yeah.
train such teachers. Train them. Again, I repeat, if you are setting up a school, understand that the parents are your customers and your teachers are the assets you have to do the work. Yes, they are the robots. Let me use that word. And then when they are doing that work, you must know that they have come into this relationship with the customers and they are there to help. They are going to be part of the family. If I come to a school and I see the teachers and I don't like them, and maybe one thing or the other, even the way they dress or whatever, I don't want my child to learn how to dress like this. Man, I will take out my child because I know the teacher is going to become part of my family. There are some parents, when there are some children in the school, you find out that when they want to call a teacher, they are like, mommy, mommy. And then they now, oh, sorry. They will now say, Miss K, Miss V. What's happening? It's because the child is with this particular teacher, and the child is looking up to such an educator, and that's actually how it should be. And I want to see more of the children, more of the parents saying that do you know that my child even called me Miss K, Miss K, Miss
Mommy,
V, or the teacher's name. Yes, it should also happen like that. That means that the relationship is actually flowing well. Imagine a child forgets children, yes, because unconsciously they are like, it's because in fact, sometimes parents are angry, maybe because a child is always mentioning the teacher's name in the house. This child, this teacher. You should be happy. It means that the circle is smooth. The circle from your home to the school, back to the home, and back to the school is smooth. And if a child calls a teacher, hey, mommy, it means that the child is seeing that place as home too. But some parents are not happy. I have experienced this thing I'm talking about. They feel that, why should my child mention, always calling this teacher's name? It's getting too much. Is she the one that will be parenting my child? Can you imagine? Ignorance is really very, very expensive. Okay, so I have here the classroom and the study room. I'm just trying to talk about the continuity of the circle between the teacher and the parent. If I'm having my classroom, also make sure that in your house there is a study room. Some families don't have a study room. A study room does not mean that you should go and have one bedroom like that is just study room. No, you can create your study room in your parlor, even inside your bedroom or the children's bedroom. It all depends. In the parlor, there's a way you can actually carve out what's it called, a noiseless area, or a quiet area for these children to just study. Know that once they are seeing that place, they know that that place is where I try to connect with, where I always go to learn. It's there's a way there's a way it shapes a child. Then the wireless classroom. We always talk about, the school, is it conducive? Do they go outside to learn and blah blah blah? Who told you that in your family you should not be doing wireless home or wireless house, or of course wireless classroom too? Or you think when you take your children to the beach, it's just for them to go and jump up and down and then it's out? No. Training these children should be continuous. When we take the children out, okay, even if it's to go to Chicken Republic or whatever, when you take them there, be intentional. Know that, okay, they're gonna learn. It's the wireless for you. You are outside your family and you are creating this time. So make it a learning process too, a learning period too for these children. I was opportune. There's a home I tutored, the kids. This woman, every Sunday, because she's a banker, so every Sunday she takes the children out to somewhere. They must go to somewhere. And then before they go, she has these goals, okay, when we come back, they are going to, narrate what they saw. Or what she does, maybe when they are there, she could be like, okay, I could remember when one of the sons, is somehow shy. So she was trying to build confidence. This is a parent that follows the teacher. She was trying to build confidence. What she did was that they went out to the beach, and then she made sure that they got to mix with other family, and she wanted, she was intentional about it, so that the son and the children of the other parents they met, the family they met, they were interacting, and she was like, okay, I want to study my child. Let me even see how confident she is in meeting new people and how they relate. And that is a teacher a parent that is very intentional. Wallless classroom does not just mean only in the school, that you are out of your classroom to maybe go outside to learn, or maybe go for excursion. No, families should be doing wallless classroom. Then the classroom in a box. The classroom in a box is like also the continuing the what's it called now? The circle, the smooth running of the circle between the teacher and the parent. What I have done in the classroom, I'm putting it in a box for you. Please try to also follow me. It's just like when parents are like, please, there are some parents, they don't know what the curriculum is all about for their children. They don't know. I could remember one day I went for a home lesson, and then I asked the parents, please, can I have the curriculum? She said, oh, they sent that thing in my email, but I've not printed it out. I've not even seen it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So how are you, how are you following? How are you trying to help this child when she or he comes back from home? Classroom in a box. And there are schools that are intentional with this classroom in a box. What they normally do is that every week they put in a box everything they have done for the family. So they could put an activity, that parents can do with their children at home every week, or some do it every month. It all depends. And it's very interesting. And this is what trying to make parents and teachers understand that their relationship is a vital one. Like I said before, that I'll still come back to this. The problem is, who is a teacher to you and who is a parent to you. So I saw this picture. You can see the picture, the red mark and everything. I saw it and I decided to use it. Of course, before, I think recently, this teaching has been removed. I saw it somewhere. It has to do something. I don't know. I can't remember what. The teaching was removed for something. And I wanted to also take that picture for something, but I guess I missed the picture. I stumbled on it when I was trying to create okay. So why did I bring this here, this picture? Having the teaching all over, the red is all over your head, the stress picture is from your back to your front and all that, the hypertension side and the migraine side, everyone has, every of this has it. So why did I bring this here? I brought this here because I don't know who did this. Yes, teaching is not an easy task. Teaching is not an easy task. And if you are not called for it, if you are not in for it, if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the skills, if you are not resourceful, if you are not even intelligent, I don't think you can be in that field. It takes a lot. And so when somebody tells me it is the easiest job on earth, I take offense, even though I might not react to it. But I know that if you tell me such, I need to avoid you because you don't understand what I do in my life. Sometimes when you try to explain, it becomes a problem. So if I look at it, you're not ready to understand the explanation, I keep calm. it means you don't even understand what life is about, because life is all about teaching. Life is about learning. And that's why the saying goes that he who stops learning is dead. So who is a teacher to you? You know, there was this story that went on. I think it also had to do with teachers. I can't remember. It has been a long time I heard that story. It said that there was this conference and people were, talking about this and that. Then it got to a man. I think they said the man was a teacher. You know, how he explained being a teacher. He didn't just stand up and say, I'm a teacher. You know, that was the day I started thinking. I was like, wow. So me, I don't want to get up and say, I'm a teacher. I teach people, children. Because of the experience, because I know I do a lot. I'm a lot, in fact, in my class. I am a lot in the lives of the children. I have to understand what I am. And I tell, of recent, I've been, in fact, that was why I carved out this topic. One of the reasons. Of recent, I've told people that me, as a teacher, okay, I am that person. My career involves, being part of my customers' family. You know, yes, I am part of my customers' family. Who are my customers? My parents. I am part of their family, and I have to help them in grooming a child, in training a child, in nurturing a child, in guiding a child. And someone is telling me that my job is the easiest on earth. And any mistake, I belong to one group that the guy talked about. It was even this afternoon, the man talked about, he talked about making mistakes, as in teachers making mistakes. That I know that my mistake is not just a mistake, but an expensive mistake. And so every time I'm on my toes to make sure that I don't make these expensive mistakes. Of course, we are human, that even when this mistake eventually happens, I am quick to make sure that I correct it. Dear teachers, wake up and define who you are. And also know that in this business, you can't do it alone without the parent. Come to think about it, as a teacher listening to me now, think about it. In the classroom, if you have a parent that is involved, that is positively involved in the child's business, in the child's learning business, you will find out that it's easier for you than a parent. You cannot even reach the parent, than a child. You cannot even reach the parents. Likewise, the parents. Yes, some teachers, they actually avoid parents. I don't know why. Is it that they are shy? Is it that they don't have the confidence? Is it what exactly? Some parents, I have some parents, some teachers, some of my colleagues, they will tell you, I don't know, this parent and his wahala. Yes, they are your customers. They will have that problem to bring for you to help them solve. I'm not talking about the petty parents, that obviously we know what they are looking out for. They are just looking for one trouble or the other, not trying to be, diplomatic and being open-minded for everybody to solve a problem together, but trying to do the blaming game. We understand that part. But how about this particular parent that that he is genuine and he really wants this child, to move, even if the child is brilliant, even if the child is not brilliant. But all the parent wants is, let me see this progress, because that is why I brought this child here, for you to help me. Let's keep moving this child to make sure that we bring out the best potential in this child. Yes. Okay, the next slide, I have the PTA meeting. So you can see the social skills, we, like I mentioned before, that a parent, at a time, you are like, okay, I need someone to help me with these social skills to come out from my child, to bring out this potential in my child. I need the help. And that's why you step out, and not only that, of course, you need the child to grow, in the right path, to have what it entails, of course, to, sustain a growing child and all that. So you need help outside. Okay, and most times we have the social skills and the emotional skills and the academic skills, of course. Now, I have a PTA meeting. In a PTA meeting, this happened in Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria. In a PTA meeting, once upon a time, a parent, someone that called herself, because it's a she, and she does not work, a parent that the husband works to make sure, of course, that everything she needs, is being supplied also for the children. A parent stood up in a PTA meeting and said that, yes, can we, and was telling the owner of the school, the proprietor, that her own suggestion in this PTA meeting is that it will be nice for them to increase school fees so that the calibers of people coming here, in fact, before she could finish whatever point she was giving, parents were shutting her off. They were just shutting her down. Can you stop that? Can you sit down? She really thought she was speaking for the group of parents that gathered there. And teachers were looking. I am not making up these stories. This thing I'm talking about happened live. My stories actually most times are stories that happen, my experiences. So you can see what the parents came to talk about. Does this parent actually know what parenting is about? How will she know? She has not, from everybody, people started making inquiries about her. She has never worked in her whole life. She has never worked in her whole life. So that the calibers of the people that will be coming in the school will be of high calibers, and everybody, they are mixing the social status and everything. Like, seriously? You can imagine. I said I needed to talk about this PTA meeting because each time, I hear PTA meeting, I always remember this particular parent, okay? So this parent forgot about other things that could be discussed in a PTA meeting. Apparently, your children are not doing well, okay? Apparently, your children, yes, they are average kids, okay? So you couldn't talk about how can we even make it there to make sure that every child in this school, has a computer, the computer that the child can take home and bring, do assignments and all that. Even of course, we didn't know that 2020 could hit us. Of course, the story happened before 2020. Imagine when it was 2020 and the school was able to provide such devices for children. Some parents, of course, used phones for their children, and so many things, so many reasons. I don't know, you could have given, talk about PTA. Let's all of us, contribute money to make sure that our children get this kind of facility, get this kind of a thing. And what you're talking about is to increase school fees. In a PTA meeting, a parent, a mommy, that mother, what is the family value? And honestly speaking, that woman has also talked about, people can also relate a bit to what the husband could be like. Whether the husband is the most wonderful man on earth. She has actually also brought the man down. Because people will be wondering, what is the family value of this woman? What does she understand about family value? What does she understand about parenting? When we are talking about social skills that we need to social skills that we need to, the skills we have to make sure that we apply, we expose children to, in order to be better human beings, better adults in future. When we have PTA meetings, what do we discuss? It's way forward. It's also for the interest of the children. Some PTA meetings are done what's it called, individually in the classrooms. Okay, some after individual, they gather every parent together so that you as a parent will even hear from this parent's contribution and all that, and help yourself maybe at home. So many reasons, so many positive reasons why we have PTA meetings. Some people call it parent-teacher conference. At a time, some schools also separated it, parent-teacher conference being different from parent-teachers association. Okay. All depends on how you want to do it because of the goal you want to achieve. We really need to do better in terms of our educational system. And then I have this, I had to talk about the child under our care. It's still what we are all talking about. I talked about Montessori story. And I say I said I have to tell every one of us that you as a teacher, if you have not gone to read what Montessori means, I think you are missing something. I'm not saying that you should, that it's, for example, a teacher in secondary school should come and start applying Montessori curriculum. No. But there's something. Read the story of Montessori. Read why Montessori, Dr. Maria Montessori came up with her curriculum. And the parents too, you need to read. You need to have this kind of books in your house. Google and know more about Dr. Maria Montessori. What brought me into teaching, like I said earlier in this slide, I was once in Nigerian breweries, okay, for my internship, okay. However, what got me into teaching was, or rather is, this Montessori method of teaching. And how did it happen? It was after my service, okay, that I now saw. I was in a school. It was a new school in Bayelsa. And this school, I just saw the school. I just liked the school. I saw what they wrote about Montessori, designed the surface of the entrance of the school with Montessori materials and all that. All my life, I don't know what Montessori materials meant because I never I never went through such environments, or rather I wasn't trained with such um, materials. Okay. So I just said, okay, I've finished service. I was actually rounding off service. I was like, let me even go in and know what this is all about. Okay. Honestly. And that was how, I got interested in Montessori method of teaching. I now got interested in teaching. And that was how I decided that I'm going to study education. Of course, it's a long story, but why I brought in this page is that as a teacher, try and read up about Dr. Maria Montessori. Okay. And then even some schools that, say we are Montessori schools and all that, they are not actually practicing, complete Montessori. Some schools are good, in the sense, as in they are good in the application of this Montessori method of teaching, because it actually helps. In a summary, what is it all about? Montessori believes that you dialogue with children. You can see what's happening on the picture. She believes that a child, that teaching and learning is centered on a child. It's not about the teacher. Teaching and learning, parenting, it should be done together. We are all in this business together. Dr. Maria Montessori believes that a disciplined child is an intelligent child. And that has to do with the parenting side, of course, also with the teachers. But to tell you the truth, if a child has been handed a gift that is a child given to you by the creator, you are the one that should start this trying to show discipline to a child. Of course, if you don't do it, of course, when you bring to school, many schools will help you do it. Yeah, that's true. But then you as a parent, you should start from home. Dr. Maria Montessori believes in practical aspect of learning. And that is why every every subject, every topic, I think the last time we had there was the program we had, Voice of the Teachers, a speaker said that every subject, every topic has a practical aspect of it. And if you don't give that part of the practical aspect of it, you did not do justice to that topic. And I agree with that speaker. Yes. So, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear parents and teachers watching us from different, places right now, and will also later maybe see this on YouTube, I'm asking you, I'm pleading that you should take this business of training a child, of nurturing a child, of teaching children, of teaching students, of teaching adolescents. Take it as a very big task that has been handed over to you. Read, research a lot. Yesterday, okay, we are in there's a group, a tutors hub group I belong to. Yesterday of course we started challenges. There's this challenge we are doing towards the World Teachers Day for this year. That is 5th of October. And yesterday, the challenge was for us to talk about teachers, as in appreciate a teacher you admired. I was able to appreciate a teacher I admired. I told her that I am so, I am so glad that I met her, because her resourcefulness is top notch. And even the way she preserves these resources, I thought I was actually very resourceful until I met her. You know, in fact, I was so wowed by the way she, go about her resourcing for teaching. So I admired her, I appreciated her yesterday, and actually, thank God that she even came and responded and she was happy. And I know that what I did yesterday, I have also encouraged a teacher. And for a long time, I've not spoken to this teacher. We actually met once, well, I mean, in one school. Okay, I know that for a long time, I've not spoken to her. And for me to remind her, to encourage her, to tell her that I love this which you do, it's honestly speaking, it's something that I know that it will forever rest in her head, and she will be like, oh, so somebody was observing me. Yes, people see, people see. Sometimes I try to post things on Facebook and all that, and some of my friends will say, V, you only have this number of people liking this and that. I say, my brother, don't worry, don't worry, we will keep pushing the good news. Some people will see it might not make sense that time for them. Trust me, one day if they could remember that they came across this, and it will make a lot of sense, and they will use it in order to help humanity. And he told me it's true. Do you know that it did not take time we finished that conversation? One of my schoolmates in secondary school called me and I said, V, this one you people, the way you people are bombarding this thing. Do you know, every time I try to go and see what have you dropped on your page, and I say, oh, so you look at it, but you don't like or make a comment. And I say, don't worry, I might be busy. I will look at it. All I know is that I've gotten the message. I will just move on to check other places. You see, I went back to tell the guy, I said, can you imagine what somebody called me to say? And we laughed about it. So whatever you are doing, keep doing. Keep doing it. Whatever positive you are doing in this business of teaching and having a good relationship with our teachers and our parents, as a parent, as a teacher, it is very, very vital, and people are seeing, and it is actually bearing, and it's bearing fruits. You might not see it now, but later you'll be wowed. And then the next page I have, I talked about very, plain. I said teaching styles and parenting styles. As a teacher, do you even know? Do you even know that there's something called teaching style? Do you even have a teaching style? Do you know that as a teacher, you can have more than one teaching styles? Likewise, a parent. Yes, we know that we have this how many types of parenting styles. Okay, I think the basic one is like 4 of them, but trust me, do you know that there's other ways you can actually also do parenting that does not actually specifically align on that 4 aspects of parenting style. And then I want to say, because I know that we have the autocratic, or no, authoritarian style of parenting, and autocratic, no, sorry, authoritarian, yes, and then we have permissive. So I'm trying to say that sometimes, as a parent, you can actually practice that permissive, because from what I learned, permissive style of parenting is like you are being too lenient on a child. Yes, sometimes you have to be lenient on the child, you know. So we really have to understand this. Like I said before, if you are going to be called a daddy or a mom, and it's your desire to be called all these things, and you people are planning as a husband and wife to be called such a thing, you really have to, go research, be resourceful, know what you are going to do, plan it. It's very important, because if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. You are planning to fail these children that will be coming into your lives. Nobody knows it all. Nobody at all knows it all. And then the last slide I have, like I keep talking about, people appreciating teachers and people not appreciating teachers. I have something here. This was written to me. In fact, if you remember when I said that Montessori made me to go into teaching, this was the first school I taught ever in my life. Remember, I'm like 15 years in my teaching field. Okay. Now, this message came in some years ago. I think 2019, good, because 2019, of course, I participated in one program like that teachers program, of course, that I won. That was when this message came in on Facebook. I had to screenshot it to bring it here. And she said, Miss K, as you are fondly called, I understand the feeling of being well spoken of and appreciated by your students. This this parent is also a teacher, is a lecturer. Okay. Yes, this parent is a lecturer. So she now said this is part of a teacher's reward amongst others on earth and in heaven. God bless you for laying a firm foundation, a mat for my child. I remain forever grateful to you. Keep up the good work as you raise generations of young people whose quality assurance will help our society. Thank you so much. And I'm like, oh, what a day. That was me replying, So the day I read this, I was like, wow, this parent she's a lecturer, and of course, she's always very busy, okay, because she's always very busy anyway. So for me to see this, I was like, wow, many years ago, I taught her daughter, and her daughter is actually in Canada now. I taught her daughter, it has been a long time. Somehow, we keep having new children. I've actually forgotten, I've forgotten, somehow about this family, only for them. You can imagine, saw me on Facebook and wrote this on my Facebook page. It was a priceless moment for me, a priceless day for me that day. Okay. So, what am I trying to tell us? Like I said before, you can imagine for a parent to do this. Okay, it means that they got that trust, they got that good delivery, excellent job. Okay, and you have been in their mind. Okay. And so she was able to come to appreciate. It's not like when they were leaving, because when the child was actually moving to secondary school, yeah, that was abroad, of course, they appreciated us. But imagine after how many years they go. Okay. So what am I trying to say? Whatever we are doing as teachers, we should understand that people are looking, people are watching, people are taking notes, they are observing us. Okay. Likewise, we working with parents, do this not just because of that parent. Do it because of the child. There are some teachers, just because maybe the parents, behavior is somehow, then you try to, push aside the child. Please, dear teachers, no. For the child, because this is a call we have answered to be teachers, to help in grooming children, to help in raising children. Look at what she said. She said, raise generation of young people whose quality assurance will help our society. Wow. So please, at this note, I am trying to say that I believe I have tried at least to, open up this unspoken relationship, between parents and teachers, that I have somehow opened it up to do justice to it, to some extent, to a reasonable extent, so that whoever listens to this will understand where I'm coming from, will understand the importance, the heavy importance of, having this great relationship, for between parents and teachers, in order to make
True.
sure that our children whom we are grooming, does
To
not
make
suffer, that we do not fail them. We do not fail them in any way. And at this note, I'm trying to say thank you everyone for listening. And if you have any question from anywhere you are listening, please, I am all ears. Hello. Who do we have there? Oh, Funke, Mrs. Funke. You came in.
hello, good evening.
Good evening. If so, I feel
Welcome.
happy having you here.
Thank you very much. I'm Miss
Yeah.
Funke by name. I'm also a
Okay.
teacher. I've been listening to the conversation. It has been interesting anyway.
Thank you so much. I hope this is Funke from I know I met from Flogsy, right?
Hello?
Is it Funke from Flogsy, from Florence?
Yes, yes, from Miss
Ah,
Florence. Yes, please.
nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
do you have anything to add? Hmm?
Mm, I just want to say one or two things
Okay.
concerning we, the teachers, that we really have a lot to do and we are really doing a great job because we, the teachers, we are not only there to teach the children academically, also characters otherwise. Just as you have said earlier on, we are to mold lives, teach, we should be patient, to be able to cope with the children. And our relationship with the parents can never be overemphasized. Though at times, some of these parents, I don't know the word to use, should I say some of them are somehow difficult to relate with. However, we still have to use that wisdom with them because we can't do this work without the parents out there. We are to join our hands together to achieve better results.
Yes, I
So
I
that's
totally
it.
agree with you on that. Yes. Thank you so much for coming up here on Zoom. I believe others are also listening to us, maybe from YouTube. Thank you so much also for your contribution, for your
All
active
right.
participation, because I noticed somebody has been here, about two people or so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And I guess on this note, we'll call it a day to see
All
sometime
right.
next week. Thank you.
All right. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.